Sarah. Welcome to the It's a Sarah podcast. Today it is Friday, May 26, and this is episode 81. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and I love to talk, so that's the perfect combination for making this podcast. I love talking about my knits and crochet so much that I do it twice a week. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English, and I make my episodes in Dutch and in English, so be sure you pick the right one. It's quite fun to read all the, in the comments, all the people with Dutch roots, and some people are watching both my episodes. It's quite fun to read, so thank you for all the background information. Okay, I want to share my crafty adventures, my handwerkperikelen, with you from the last days. But before we dive into that, I want to share something about what I'm wearing, because this is quite a special knit to me. This is my penny sweater. The penny sweater is a pattern by TinCanKnits from a few years ago. I don't know exactly which year. It is not in my on my Ravelry project page, so I didn't use it by then. It was one of my first knits. I was quite a beginner knitter by then. It was quite an adventurous knit for a beginner knitter, and that's one of the reasons why it's so special for me, because I just did it. I'm quite good in when I have a desire. I think desires comes from your heart, and I'm quite good in thinking. How do you say it? In break thinking my desire, so they won't happen. I learned so much from my knitting and crochet all those years I did it. And one of the things I learned is that you don't have to break think your desire. You can, when you have a good collaboration between your heart and your head, you can create the most wonderful stuff. But quite often my head is only thinking difficult and negative thoughts about my desires, and those are not helping. So it's quite nice to have this success on my body right now, in which the collaboration between heart and head was perfect. So the desire came from my heart. Oh, I love that sweater. I really want to wear it. I really want to make it. And my head said, okay, I will help you. Instead of, okay, I destroy your desire because it's way too hard, way too difficult for you. So that was a nice experience. The yarn I found in a thrift shop, and we were on holiday, and I was really surprised there was so much yarn in the thrift shop. But I asked the people in the thrift shop, and they told me that there was a local yarn shop which was closed a few weeks before, and all the yarn they didn't sell, they gave to the thrift shop. And I found quite some brown cotton bamboo mix. It was from Lana Grossa. That I don't know. I don't know the details, but it was from Lana Grossa, and it was cotton bamboo, and it was my favorite color. And so I bought it, and I cast it on this sweater. It was not knitting really nice because it was quite splitty yarn, so my needles just go through the thread all the time, so that was a bit annoying, but I really love the feel of it. This sweater is knitted bottom up. I started with the sleeves. I think I knit 2 sleeves together. That was also the first time. And then I started the body, and it's all over lace, and it was quite a challenge for me by then. It still would be a challenge. All over lace is really counting and paying attention. But it worked out pretty good. There were some mistakes, and there is a mistake on my back. I don't know exactly where. I don't know if you can see it. It was quite interesting when I just finished my sweater, and people were telling me, oh, you are wearing a nice sweater. I always told them, but there's a mistake on my back. Why? I don't do that anymore. So that's so interesting. But now I can't see it, so it isn't there. I also, I have struggles with my purling, and you can see it. It's rolling out quite a lot here. I did just continental purling by then. I just learned continental knitting, and now I changed my continental purling for the Russian purl, and it improved a bit. It is still a point of attention, but yeah, it is okay. It's the charm of a hand knitted item, I guess. Yeah, I knitted bottom up, and then you join the sleeves, and with the raglan decreases and a V-shaped neckline, it was completed and really one of my favorite knits. And then, not so long after I finished this garment, it went wrong. I was pulling my fresh wash out of the washing machine. And it was a towel wash, a towel and a dishcloth wash. And I always wash my towels and dishcloths on a 60-degree program. That's not the hottest program, but one of the hottest, because I think that's clean and nice. And when I put the wash out of you already know what I will tell right now. I found my brand new penny sweater in the washing machine. So I could cry. I don't know if I cried, but I was shocked. What? How? That precious sweater. I put all my time and effort in, and that learned me so much. I was so proud of it. And it was in the washing machine on that temperature. So I put it out, and it was really looking tiny and small, and I thought, oh, it shrinked a lot. And I put it on immediately, and I really had to pull but I still fit it in. I mean, I was a little bit like this, but it was all wet, but I fit it in, and I thought, okay, don't put it out. Let it dry on me. Maybe my shape will save a little bit of this sweater, and it did. Because of the bamboo and the cotton, it grew a bit, and it shrinked quite a lot. It was not that my sleeves were long sleeves. I didn't have enough yarn for long sleeve sweater, and this is perfect. I really love the length of the sleeve, but it got short. I think it was one of my first cropped items, not planned to be cropped, but I really love wearing it, and it's a little bit tight under the arms, so I still wear it with pleasure, but a little bit more ease here would have been nice. There was a little bit of extra ease here, but okay. And also the yarn, it's you can see it lost a bit of its beautiness because of the hot temperature, but it's still a lovely and pretty sweater. Yeah, that was quite exciting. I don't know how it came in the washing machine with the towels. I don't know. It never happened again, and I can still wear it. It's really high on my list to make again, but the make this garment again list is quite long, also quite long. So it never happened yet, but I still want to. It's really a nice pattern, and yeah, I love it. So I'm also wearing my Hinterland dress under it. Yeah, really, I have two, and I wear them all the time. I didn't make the dresses myself, but a knitting friend living around the corner made them for me, and I'm still very, very happy with them. Okay, let's go into the knitting and the crochet. Let's start with the crochet. Last Monday I shared with you that I absolutely had to cast on a Granny Stripes blanket. I couldn't ignore my desire for casting it on. I tried, but it didn't work out. So, and I really enjoyed working on it last week. I had a very busy week with activities every evening, and that's not what I used to have, but I used to. I worked very hard for creating a simple and quiet life with a lot of empty time. I don't love all my time to be filled with activities. I really love to do things, but I want to have the freedom to decide at the moment. Do I want to do this or do I want to do that? But last week was filled with activities. Sometimes it's happening, and it's okay. It were all nice and fun activities. But because it was quite busy, it was really nice to have an easy crochet work, relaxing. I realized that for me it's very important that I have an always work out crochet or knitting project on my needles, because it always work out, but also hard jumping. I did have a few always work out works on my needles, but they were not hard jumping. And for me, the scrappy projects are really hard jumping because I loved all the colors. You put all the scraps together, you put all the colors together, and it looks like a big mess, but together they create a beautiful thing. I really love that on the scrappy blankets and the other projects. And I did have some scrappy blankets on my needles, both knitting, but they were not workout always works, because they ask a little bit more of my attention. For me, is the granny stitch is always workout. I have to think of a nicer word. In Dutch I say kan altijd werkje. Workout always work. Workout always work. There must be a nicer term for it. I love to play with words. Always successful work. That's what I mean, that it's always successful, that it can't fail. Granny stitch can't fail, because I can do it with my eyes closed, I can do it when I'm happy, I can do it when I'm sad, I can do it when I'm tired, I can do it when I'm feeling a lot of energy, I can do it when I'm feeling sick, I can do it when I'm feeling nice. Always. I can do it while I'm cooking. It's not very good for the dinner, but because it's so addictive. But I can pick it up and put it down every now and then. I can do it when I'm on the phone, when I'm chatting with friends or family. I can do it always, and it's always successful. And I did have some of those works, but they weren't hard jumping. The colors and just, yeah, that's hard jumping for me. So it was really nice to cast it on. I cast it on 272 stitches with my 3.5mm needles, and I realized immediately that it was a little bit wider than I planned. It is 150 centimeters wide, and I think it was my plan to go for 135 centimeters, but the first row is not my favorite row. You have to chain all the chains, and then the first row is with the single crochets or the double crochets in all the turns, and that's not my favorite row. And then you can start with the granny stripes, and I love that. So there was nothing, I didn't feel the motivation to start over again. So I thought, okay, just let it happen. Maybe it's a 2-person blanket for on the couch, but it can also be with vertical stripes. So this is not the wide, but the length of the blanket. And I also put it on our bed. And it also looked very nice on the bed, and it will not be long enough, but that's okay. We have a woolen blanket on our bed, but it's nice to have a bed runner. The same thing I made for my in-laws, but then a little bit higher. But it's not necessary to decide right now. I just can crochet. And I also will start with my Sunday is weaving in ends day again. So I'm looking forward to Sunday, because then I can weave in my ends. I fool myself a little bit with that, and that works out pretty good because I'm really looking forward to it. One of my greatest joys in life at the moment is rolling up my granny stripe blanket. Oh, I don't know if you ever rolled up a granny stripe blanket, It is so satisfying. It is so satisfying. Oh, really. And it's only at the beginning you can do it, because when it grows too much, you can't do it anymore. But now, look at this. I really love it. It feels so nice, and it's so peaceful to do. So I think, I'm sorry for the noise. I think it always works out pretty good. Friday afternoon is not a good time to film podcast episodes. All my neighbors are doing all the work in their houses and in their gardens, and that's quite annoying. Okay. Then I casted on another another knitting work. I told about this shawl a few episodes ago. It's the Skymning shawl, a pattern from Sofia Capella from California, and this is one of my favorite shawls. Only it looks a bit autumnal. I'm not really, with my blonde hair, my blue eyes, I'm not a really autumnal type, but I don't care. I love the color, so I wear them. But I really want a more neutral one in darker colors, because when I'm wearing a colorful sweater or cardigan, it's a bit too much. So I want to have also a neutral version. But I was doubting about the color combination for 18 months now, I guess, because I had this charcoal, I can't say that word, charcoal color as a main color, but I have it also in brown, and I was really doubting. When you knit this shawl in two colors, you have the garter stitch rows with the solid color, and the other one with the color changing yarn in stockinette, and it creates really a nice a nice texture, I guess, in which the color change is really nice. And I also love the back of it. I don't love shawls or blankets with an ugly back, but I can also wear it like this. So I was really doubting about it, and I couldn't make a decision. And a few weeks ago I just put the yarn at my back, and I decided I would just knit. And you can't see any difference between the colors right here, but we are at a color change right now. So I'm very curious how it will work out. So it will be a darker shawl, and there will come some brown and yellow. You can see the yellow in the middle of the skein. This is some Kauni yarn, and yeah, it's really this is really a nice and satisfying knitting work. It's not hard. You start in the middle with a garter stitch tab, a little rectangle from garter stitch on which you pick up stitches, and then you work back and forth with some increases in the middle and at the beginning of the row. And the rows are getting longer and longer, so that makes I really need a pretty good work for on the go when I am in the car, or just and this blanket is not really good for on the go, because I have to bring all the yarns, and now I have to bring only two colors, and I can sit and knit, and the rows are longer and longer. So, and it's also at some point it gets quite boring because the rows are so long, but when you I just have it in my bag and I can pick it up, and it doesn't need to be finished quite soon, so it's really relaxing and nice to have on the needles. And I shared a picture on my Instagram, and then I searched for the Instagram of Sofia, and I to tag her, and I saw she had it was a summer sale, I guess, and I don't know if it's still running, but she had a summer sale, and she offered 20% off, a discount of 20% on all her patterns on Ravelry and maybe on other places. I don't know, but I will link her down below. I'm not sure if it's still running, so you have to check that yourself. But it's really a nice pattern. I really want to recommend it because yeah, it's one of my favorite shawls. Yeah. Also the border is also in the pattern and I really love it. Okay, and I still was ignoring my Corran cardigan, but I picked her up, and I'm just at the point for the 3-needle bind off for the second shoulder, and we have a shoulder here, and I will bind off this shoulder when I'm done filming, and then I'm not quite sure if I will start with the ribbing and the button band, or if I will start with the sleeves first. I'm not sure what I prefer, but I really love it. I'm knitting it with Holst Ghost. It's the Corran cardigan by Rebecca Clow. I'm knitting it with Holst Ghost, held double. It's a mix of cotton and wool, and it's really nice. And I love the color, warm brown. And it's really light and airy, so different from my first version that was more woolly. But I can, yeah, I think that this will be a very nice summer knit. It is a little bit longer, I guess, and that was what I wanted, because on my skirts I don't want to be the cardigan too cropped, because I don't like the look of it. On my dresses it can be cropped, but on my linen skirts I want it a little bit longer, maybe tuck it in a bit. Yeah, so I think it will work out pretty good, and it will be finished quite soon, because I want a short-sleeved cardigan. So yeah, and it's quite lovely weather here in the Netherlands, so maybe I can wear it next week. I have quite some knitting time this evening. The weekend is quite busy, but this evening I have some knitting time, so I will spend it with the Corran cardigan. We are back on track, but we are not the best friends. I don't know why. The first one, it went so smooth and easy, and this one I make mistakes and it doesn't work, and I don't know what it is. I thought maybe she's a bit irritated that I don't give her all the attention and I didn't took a picture, so I tried, but she's still a bit maybe I just have to finish her, I don't know. So those are my knits and crochets. Oh, I did receive a lovely wool package. I will do a test knit for a Dutch knitter. Her name is Eve, and she designed a wonderful all-over colorwork cardigan based on a cardigan she bought in shop, and I owned that cardigan too quite some years ago. I don't have it anymore, but I loved it. It was a cardigan with a knitted look. It was not hand knitted but machine knitted, and she was inspired by that cardigan for making this design, and it was really beautiful. And I chose the colors. I want to work with Jamieson's and Smith. She made her cardigan from sock yarn, but I want to try Jamieson's and Smith, and it was the same yardage. Do you say yardage? They had the same meters on, I think it's yardage, the same gauge, I don't know. So I ordered online, and it was quite hard because Jamieson Spindrift, they have 220 colors, the yarn shop, Trollenwol in the Netherlands. And the yarn shop was an hour away from where I live, and I didn't have the time to go there. But I decided that next time I will go there physically. I couldn't choose the right color combination because I was overwhelmed by the amount of beautiful colors. And then I decided, okay, I'm gonna choose right now and I will be happy with it anyway. And it was quite interesting to practice that. And when the order came, I received also a lovely book. It's called Holland Breien, Dutch knitting, and I just looked quite quickly in it. There are patterns in it, but also quite some information about the Dutch knitting history. Yeah, it's quite nice. So that was a nice gift. Thank you. And I have this lovely color combination. This will be my main color, and then yeah. I think the colors are beautiful. I don't know if I would put them together physically, but I decided I would be happy with them anyway, so I am. I only made a mistake. I didn't realize, I was so busy choosing the right colors that I didn't realize that those are 25 gram balls, and I ordered not enough yarn. It is yeah, I have to double this amount of yarn for the cardigan, but that's okay. I will start next week on this cardigan with the sleeves, and I will check the color combination if it really works out pretty good. If the contrast is not too high or too low, not too high it will not be, but too low. And when it's okay, I will order the other half of my yarn. I hope they have it in a stash right then. So lovely yarn, lovely colors, and next time I will. It's a bit, ordering online can be very nice when you don't have a local yarn shop. I do have one in the town next to me, but I also have to go there by car. I like to do all my things by bike, but in my town there is not a yarn shop with the yarn I prefer to work with. Yeah. It's nice you can order all those beautiful yarns in other stores, but it's not when you really want to make color combinations for your color work, it can be really good to visit a shop. Okay, then is this the last thing I want to share? Let me see, check my notes. Yes, the last thing. I received questions about my knitting needles quite a lot, so I thought let's say something about it. There are quite a lot of people asking me which one I prefer. I bought a bamboo set, a bamboo Chiaogoo set a few weeks ago, so now I'm the owner of a metal set and a bamboo set, and there are quite some people asking which needles I prefer and what they should buy. And I think what I would recommend, and I think it's quite dangerous to follow other people's recommendations in the knitting needle when it's going about knitting needles, because that's quite personal. Every knitter prefer something different, or it's your knitting style or your tension, and it's not what works out for me. Maybe will not work out for you, maybe it will, but also, yeah, you have to try yourself. I made my own, how do you say it? I pimped my knitting needle case because I find it quite boring. But I have my knitting needles from Chiaogoo, and they are all in my needle case right now. I bought the metal set. I also have the fixed ones. I bought the metal interchangeable. I bought the half set, so not the complete set, but only the half set, and I immediately regret. So I would buy the complete set. I would recommend that. Buy the complete set anytime, if you have the money, of course. And then, because I'm quite a loose knitter, I discovered that knitting with wooden needles, with bamboo needles, would improve your stitch definition. So I bought the complete bamboo set from Chiaogoo. I have the 13 centimeters needle points. I also have a few 10 centimeter needle points, but I prefer the 13 centimeters. I didn't work enough with my bamboo needles right now to really say something about it, because my Skymning shawl I am knitting on a 3mm needle, and that's not in the needle set. So I have just picked my fixed one, and my Corran cardigan I am knitting with my bamboo needles, and I really love how they feel, how they knit, how they look. Yeah, I'm really enthusiastic about it, but I think I'm just happy I have both. So I can choose. When you work with very rustic yarn, it can be nice to have a very smooth and metal needle. And when you have very smooth yarn, do you say smooth? No, I don't think so. Slippery yarn, then it can be nice to have wooden needles. I'm a loose knitter, so I think wooden needles work out for me most of the time. But yeah, I didn't use them enough to really say something about them. But if someone would ask me what would you buy now when I wouldn't own no needles, when I wouldn't own anything, I would buy the complete Metaal and the complete Bamboe set. If I had the money, of course. Then yeah, then you have all. I like to have all. So that about the knitting needles. But you can when you are adapting, you can just buy the needle tips, single needle tips. So you can buy a Metaal one and a Bamboe one, and you can try what you prefer. Okay, I'm a bit distracted because it's busy in the house and I don't feel very comfortable filming my podcast episode when it's busy, but I'm quite late in the afternoon because my neighbor was working in the house and was making very much noise, and yeah, so that's a bit awkward. I have a very busy weekend, not crafty related, but all nice things. But I don't know if there will be a lot of knitting time, but I will sneak in this Monday really quick because it is a day off again. We have a long weekend again. We are quite spoiled, so we have some family activities, but I have some nice things to tell about my plans for next week, so I really want to make a little short episode to share them with you. And yeah, for now I wish you a very nice weekend. Here in the Netherlands it's really lovely spring weather, not warm but sunny, and but nice. I don't like it too hot, but it's nice temperature. In which you can still wear a cardigan or a shawl, and but also your slippers and your sandals. I really love that combination. And yeah, we will enjoy the good weather this weekend and do all the nice things. So I hope you have a nice weekend too, with a lot of knitting or crochet or whatever you like to do time. And I will see you on Monday. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.